Are you ready? Let's go. Take that last puff, Rick.
That was a fake. That was a fake cigarette. I just woke up, man. I'm sorry.
Me too.
Hey, you know, Rick, you're fortunate. You've got a very blurry camera.
Okay. You know, I don't need a light in here. Let me.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
But anyways.
Well, welcome to all of our Moving Day, to all of our domestic and intrepid international Plasticados. We are glad to have you with us here now on YouTube, so you can. I'm not even gonna try with the joke about looking at our pretty faces.
Yeah, no. Our old
maybe we just need to all be shot through soft lenses or maybe even burlap. I don't know. So anyway,
Jim, you know what? This is going to be great. And this was Jim's. Let me. This is normally how the show will go. Normally, Jim will do the introductions and everything, but I do want to, tap my hat to Jim. He put a ton of work in, guys, and I know it's the same probably guys right now, but a ton of work to get us here. And the next step is going to be giant, and it's going to happen really quick in the next couple of weeks.
You promise?
Yeah, and you're going to have interviews with some celebrities in racing. You're going to have interviews with some celebrities in model building. You're going to get tip segment every week. In fact, Jim did a little tip one just to do it. But I mean, there's ones like people ask, how do you do the exhaust on the IndyCar, which is pretty simple once, not the first time, but once you learn how to do it, it's really cool. And there's Clay taught me, actually. I mean, I figured it out, but the Honda's backwards, all those little things like that. There's just a million little things. And, it's going to be great. And thank you, Jim. I want to thank you as your partner and your your big brother.
Yeah, about that much big brother.
And thanks, Matt, for always being a part of it. And Matt really helped. And Matt helped Jim a ton because Matt already does this type of show. So between these two right here, I wrote a big thank you. All right, let's get to it, guys.
And we've got another guy that got to thank. He was the first comment this morning. Bruce's Eclectic World.
Bruce
Scott, and he helped me walk through a few things and tweak out some things. And also Marco did help me with the setup on this. So we've been at this for a little while. So this is going to be good. I'm seeing several people from the UK have checked in. I think we got a couple of our friends from Japan that are on.
All right, we're not going to read comments right now. Let's go. Let's do the show.
Okay, let's do the show. So,
Rick's excited, isn't he?
Yes. So, my first agenda item is news, new kits, and roundtable. So, let me click over here, and I think it's this one we wanted to do. And you want to introduce that first kit that we are putting on sale. It should be on sale right now, Rick.
Well, yeah, we're going to introduce the brand new IndyCar that we have out. We've held it back a little bit. Colton Herta. And that'll be available very quick. We actually have all the decals, boxes, all the stuff it takes to make it. So I probably after we get the our club out on the 15th, next week and so forth. This one will be out in probably a week or so after. So they'll be up on the site. If they're not up there right now, they'll be up by the end of today on the site. Anyone wants to pre-order them. Remember, if you're in the club, you get a huge discount on them. But I think it's a really cool one because I think that could be our. I mean, we did have Logan Sargent, and I know nobody knows that in Formula One.
Mhm.
He's not there anymore, but this could be the first name we've had in Formula One in a long time, and we'll see how that plays out with Cadillac. But I think it's a cool one. He came on real strong at the end of the year, and he's a popular guy. So, anyways, I think this is a great one. We got some really great ones. What do you think, Jim?
I think this is a cool one. I like the livery. I think it's going to be a little maybe a little simpler, definitely simpler than the New Garden when it comes to the decals. But it's going to be a cool kit. Just another one of these beautiful kits that we put out that I won't build.
I will.
I love them, but
You were the first one to build it, though.
Yes. Well, Rick and I were back and forth building these things to make sure that everything fit as everything needed to fit.
I like the look of this car. I don't know, Matt, what do you think of it?
Oh, I think it's beautiful. That's very, very cool livery.
And I know
definitely
some of the drivers are talking about the new designs for the next IndyCar. We haven't seen them, obviously, but they say why change it? It works fine.
Well, it's new body work. It's a new under tray. I mean, I think you've seen Alexander Rossi, and he said it's, what the hell are you even do? And what are you going to do to make it look different? What you're going to change to change? That was his point.
Yeah.
You got the tightest open wheel racing we've ever seen in history, and so why would you bother even changing it?
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's 27, Jim.
Yeah.
I mean, and 27 will be 28. We all know how that goes. So we might be talking about something and they can never,
they'll be lucky if they have it by 30.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, we've got since we're showing
you Colton Hurton fan, Matt?
My who?
Who's your IndyCar guy?
Oh, I actually, we're gonna see probably this year. I'll develop my IndyCar guy with.
Oh, you don't have
new
one?
TV? Nah, I really don't. I'm probably going to be starting to keep up more with it now this year with the new TV schedule that they have. Is going to be so much easier to watch. So I'll do. Right now, I gotta say, my favorite IndyCar driver. Who do I always say? And he counts because he at least runs the one and only race. Would be Larson.
Yeah, well, stay tuned. We're out of Larson's, but stay tuned. He's got a new car.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys seen somebody somebody hacked in and got the paint scheme.
Yeah.
They haven't given this officially to us yet, but I don't know if they're going to change it from there or not, but it's kind of funny that that's the big unveil. And then of course that'll be the World 600 car will have that same scheme. Yeah. So that's going to be exciting. Now I love building these Indy cars. I'll tell you, they go together so great. The exhaust, which I'm going to do a tip on. I just give you a little tip before we move on to the next car here. A little tip on the exhaust until we can get that video made. Clay taught me there's a wastegate in there that comes off the exhaust. Mm-hmm. And Jim it's almost like the little kid game where you have the square pegs.
It's square pegs and round holes. Yep.
Everybody remember that game? Yeah, you're all old like me. But you bought your little kid. Well, that's the way this exhaust goes to the wastegate. So if you can ignore where it goes into the motor and just line it up, have the wastegate sitting up where the exhaust is going to come off it. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is plug and you're done. It's that simple. The confusion, Matt, well, you built this one. The confusion on the Honda is the exhaust is backwards.
Yes, it's the confusion is here. It's not in the parts. It's
your brain.
Yeah.
The first one you build, you'll sit there and struggle with it because your brain will keep wanting to make it backwards. And the tip is to use the wastegate and hold it forward. So if you're doing the Chevy, you hold the wastegate in this hand and plug in. And if you hold the Honda, you hold it in this hand and you plug in.
Yeah.
It's going to loop around into the motor. It's going to go around it. So it's very confusing mentally.
And the first one that I built was one of the test shots. So I didn't have the instructions. We were still kind of developing the instructions. And of course, I went with building the Honda engine first. That was once I got it figured out. Once I got one side done, okay, I get it. The other side like fell together. It really worked out good.
Well, because
the instructions really are really good now. After a couple of builds, and we discussed it, and Clay got those together really well.
Let's get the most exciting news in racing in a long time. I'll tell you. I think it is the most exciting news in racing. And I'm going to click on it if you don't. There you go, Jim.
Oh, yep.
What a show. I've never seen a guy win a race and the camera doesn't go to him. It goes to Dell Jr., his sister. But, I was up. Marco was downstairs. I was upstairs. I could hear him screaming. I'm screaming. And, they went around the outside, and then what a race. It was, but it's Dell Jr. I think we all underestimated it. I didn't.
No, I didn't.
I remember when Marco, I brought it up to do it. Marco's, 36, right? He goes, oh, nobody cares about Justin Allgaier. Yeah, right. It's he drives Dell Jr.'s car. They care about him. And of course, they end up in the race with Helio, where Helio gets his free pass. So they get in the worst possible situation they possibly could be in. And I'll tell you what, Justin Allgaier's, years and years of experience, having the older, solid dude in that car paid off. Because how many guys would have made that move? He went up there with one guy behind him, and all it took was Allmendinger to come up with him, and with 20 cars, which tells me it's probably going to only be about four on the top when they get all 40 out there to move that top. That top's going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
He looked great. The car looked great out there.
Yeah, and thanks to the 21 car and boy, it was exciting. And they were all together. And Truex, if Truex wins, he's in because he's the next guy on time. If Castroneves wins, he's out because it's just Truex and Castroneves, right? Because Castroneves no longer is the 41st car.
Yeah.
And I think people didn't understand that too. So then he had to beat Truex as well. No, he had to beat Castroneves. Truex would be in on time. So it was really, it was tricky, but it was easier to understand. Like back with the days when I used to go, you'd send 15 guys home or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was guaranteed spots on time, and then they would bounce down like they do. But it would be 2 hours plus before you knew if you were in or out of the race. So it wasn't made for television. Where this was made for, this was kind of like Indy, even though we have only a little bit of bumping at the Indy 500, it's exciting as can be. They made it a 50-minute show or 40-minute show, I think it's where they get 30 minutes to run and 30 minutes of hugging and kissing and that kind of stuff, right? So they made a show out of it, the 150, and as more and more people are coming in, and let's face it, more and more people are going to be coming in to the Cup racing, and especially, I think it's going to be really exciting. I had a blast. The car's the biggest seller, guys. We're not going to make extra because we had to commit to a number early. So if you do want one, they're up on the website. Grab it. It'll always be Dell Junior Motorsports, first car for the rest of history here. So
that's true.
But I was stoked. I got a new favorite for the race, I think, Matt. What about you, Jim? Were you yelling?
No, I wasn't, because I missed most of it and came in and just got to see the last lap to see how it finally finished. And then I went back and watched it later. So the dramatic finish was already done. I knew the outcome, but it was so great to watch, not just him, but the whole Junior Motorsports, to watch Dale just crying and so happy and so excited for it. I haven't gotten a chance to go back and watch the interview before race, but I did see one little clip, and his hands are shaking. I don't blame him a bit. But one thing that I did notice when I saw the first videos of it, which really surprised me, because I've been dealing with the 3D images that they sent me for doing the box art, and it was a beautiful car. But I didn't realize that orange was the day glow. And when I saw the real car on the track and stuff, that thing just exploded. And that it is so much better that they went with that off-white, whatever it is. And we'll have I'm sure they'll tell us exactly what color that is that Chad will inject it in, but that off-white and then that orange just really popped. It was just outstanding. And you and I go back and forth of which was the best looking car. Was it that, or was it Logano's? But they're both gorgeous cars, but I don't know. Logano's was beautiful the way it blended, but it was kind of simple. This had more stuff on it, but it wasn't overly done. I don't know. I kind of think this is prettier than Joe Lowe's. But you know what? That's okay. And people want them. People will sell out of this thing pretty quick. One of my local Waco buddies has checked in, and he said, "Jim, save me one." So I will do my best, Kelvin. It's going to cost you, but I'll save you one. I'll even autograph it.
Oh boy,
you already did. It's on the middle of the box right there.
Yeah, right there.
It says JR.
It says that all over the damn box.
Jim Rogers owned JR Motorsports, did you?
Oh, don't start that rumor. There's enough rumors
you were
already about JR. Right? Huh?
What do you think, Matt? It was pretty great, wasn't it?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah. And it definitely, I was very surprised at the visual of the car under the lights. It looked a lot different than like daytime shots and stuff. And it really showed it wasn't a white car. It was, I was like looking at it, because we were talking about what the colors might be. Like we even were saying, it's just an off-white or a Wimbledon white. No, this thing had, I don't know, it's got like kind of it's a lot more yellowish, but it seems, I don't know, it had almost like a flesh tone to it. It was really cool looking. So it looked really cool under the lights. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting when you get the color figured out for the plastic.
We already do, but Clay's a mile, as Clay is always a mile ahead of us. He's already got the decals turned in. They've already picked the color. Yeah, the day the car came. I mean, this is Clay's. It's junior. You do junior. You do Kyle Larson. I think Clay does it in about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah,
he gets so excited. I mean, them are his guys. But
definitely,
it was phenomenal. It was the greatest thing you have to watch is if go on YouTube and watch the. You're on YouTube, but go over and watch
here on YouTube.
Yeah, right here on YouTube on the same channel here, right here. But go watch the where they go to the press room. They've got Dale, they've got his sister, and Justin comes in, and poor Bubba is standing over there having to wait and watch because press doesn't want.
He was the last interview.
Wasn't that something?
NASCAR doesn't want to let it go. It's big, I mean, it's huge.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
this is historic and legendary, and Justin Allgaier he's going to become more of a household name. He's going to start growing a fan base now.
Yeah.
He's going to have so many fans just because, this car, the team, and him, there's going to be such a huge fan base. It's already really there. So this is going to be fun to watch this year.
Yeah, the fun thing, I don't know how many races they're going to run, if it's just one and done or what they're going to do.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
The one thing about Justin, and I think I said on a club meeting, he just didn't line up age-wise with Cup cars. He was a Gen 6 driver, and he couldn't get into a top-notch team. So in the Gen 6 era, only a couple of teams won. You had to be in like 3 teams to get a win. And in the Gen 7 or the next gen, as we call it, era, you could be in any car and win.
Yeah.
Then with the 9-10 race seasons, with the Gen 6 car, we had Harvick with a 9 season. We had Kyle Larson with a 10 season.
I'm still here.
We lost Matt there, Jim.
I'm here still.
He's here.
It's my.
He just closed out his camera.
Yeah, it's my.
Anyways, it's going to be exciting. But also, we got another car coming out. I know would like to keep talking about this one for the rest of the time.
We've got other pictures. You go ahead and click them since you're talking.
Well,
click what you want to see.
Well, this is another new one. We got Chase's car, and to jump over now to wasn't as exciting, but I'll tell you that this car and Chastain's car, they were bolted to the track. If they wouldn't have got Byron, if Byron wouldn't have got in front of him and blocking him with that wild ass car of his, them two guys would have dominated that race.
I did the unboxing on this yesterday.
Yeah, that car. Watch out for on Sunday. This car and the number 1 car, they are bolted to the track and they are fast.
It was pretty cool that Chastain, you and I talked about it. He had to go back into the pits right after the first lap, so he was half a lap behind everybody else. And then with the shuffle from a couple of cautions and stuff, he got back in with them. Yeah. And the next thing you know, he's just right up there at the front. So he and Chase, those are going to be fun ones to watch Sunday.
Yeah, they're not bouncing around. Byron was bouncing around. Bubba was bouncing around all over the place, Them 2 cars were bolted to the track. They could push the whole way around the track. And, look out for them if they can survive. But I think I would say those were the 2 best-looking cars in the 125s. They were a couple of great ones. Did you catch them, Matt?
Oh, yeah.
Paul Adams, I agree that Byron Flame car really looked good too. The Bowman, I thought the Bowman Ally was really a good looking car too. And Larson's car is Larson's car.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I love that blue on Larson's car.
Yeah.
There was a couple of shots from the car in front of him, going back where you just saw the nose and how the light was hitting that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still great. I mean, it has little differences. It's like the Richard Petty cars, 73, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're still going to, me as a fan and a model builder, I still want to build all the different years because they do have little decal differences.
Yeah.
And if you want your collection, if that's your guy, I do it. I'm the same dude. But it's the Larson's going to be a great one, and look for that real quick. That's coming up. Of course,
Mhm.
Chase and Kyle are our top best sellers, along with Richard Petty.
Absolutely.
That's kind of funny that I'm going to have to put the JR Motorsports in there as a top seller. But I hate to admit, because for Chris, and he's not going to watch the show anyway, still sleeping. But Joey Logano's car did stick out like Richard Petty's car used to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
was
you couldn't lose it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was very easy to find.
And I think there's probably a good chance, guys, that we'll probably have that one somewhere along the line. Well, especially if you win something. So yeah, because it's just it looks great, and it's going to look fantastic on the shelf with the new garden cars.
Well, speaking of Joey, let's jump into that. We have the it's going to be April, right? April. The mold will get here in
I think it's March. Yeah, I think it's April.
Yeah, the mold will get here in March, but we didn't want to cut it short. Everything's ready to go. It's done. But
yeah.
So the dark horse will be out, and you'll be able to build, there's aftermarket decals and stuff. So you'll be able to build your favorite dark horse car.
Yeah.
It'll be probably the first week of March. We'll put that one out a little early. And that's going to be a club kit, guys. So if you're in the club, you will get this in March now. We got something pretty cool for next month, but we're not going to go there. And the dark horse is finally on its way.
Yep. and somebody asked a little while ago about the Toyota. It's we'd love to do it, but we got to get 2311 to sign up. So make it worthwhile. So
we'll get that done.
Yeah.
It'll probably be later in the year, but we'll get it done. We just need more cars.
Absolutely. We've got
it's this done already.
Now. We've got a funny car we're going to have out hopefully this year. I'm going to be starting on that soon. We've got lots and lots of stuff.
Yeah,
we got Lotuses coming out.
B-bodies. Yeah,
we've got lots of stuff.
The economy's hurt a bit, guys. That's what's pushed the B-bodies back, but they're not. They didn't go away. They just got pushed back a little bit. So they're coming. We know we have to get them. And but back to the Ford, Matt. That's your car, baby. Oh, you disappeared.
No, he'll be back. He's going to turn off. He's turning off that light over his shoulder, and his camera's been acting up. So he will be back in a moment.
Well, Matt's a dark horse guy. Mustang.
There he is.
So what do you think, Matt, of the Mustang?
Oh, I'm hold on.
Well, we can hear you.
You can? Good. Okay. All right. So it's touchy. So yeah, I'm a Mustang guy, so of course I'm excited about that. It's a sleek looking race car. That's going to be so cool.
Yeah. I think it does look better than I know people go, all the cars look the same. No, they don't.
To me.
I love the extra, the fins up there on the top of up over the front wheel wells.
Yep.
They look really good. It's a good looking car on the track.
It's aggressive looking. The front end is real aggressive looking.
Yeah. It doesn't, let's be honest. The Toyota looks like another, Chevy out there, but where the Ford stands out, definitely, good looking car. But we got one more that we want to just remind because it's going really quick. It's going to start shipping next week, and that is the Richard Childress white numbered 1989 number 3, and that will start shipping next week. That's the club kit of the month. And anyone at bottom on our website will get them right after. As you can see, the picture on here is a little misleading. That's a Busch race. That's all that we can get a picture of it that was clear and licensed. So Clay had to mess with the decals right there by the door. So you don't need to point that out. We're well aware of what we did. But the decals will all be like it was at the cup races.
Yep.
We had to pull a little sneaker on that one, Matt, because the guy that supplies us with photos didn't have a good number 3, a white 3, right? And
Right.
So we had to use the Busch car and dummy it up a little bit. See, on the front end there, you could tell a little that it's a Busch car. But anyways, I don't know. Maybe a lot of people won't pick it up, but we know what we did.
It still reads right.
We're not as dumb as we look.
Yep. He didn't really. They didn't run. They didn't run the white 3s on the Monte Carlo for very long, did they? Just for a few races.
9, I think 9 races. Yeah, 9
really?
races.
That's it. And then it went to the Lumina. But
yeah,
80. So it would have been 88. Was was 88. 88 was the first year for the black car, right?
Right. And it was all they were silver numbers.
Yep.
Then 89 they went to the white number, but then it ended up after 9 races on the Lumina.
Yeah.
And then it turned into a Busch car, which you're seeing here has a little bit different front end there, guys, if you really notice. But we mocked it up pretty good. And
it looks fine.
They did a great job.
I honestly wouldn't even have known it until you told me.
Well, the nitpickers would have got it.
Yeah.
And guys, we know there's some scratches and stuff in the hood. Chad and I talked about that. He did what he could on those, but they're also 40-year-old molds. So there's some things it's gonna take a little bit of sandpaper on the hood, and I think there's a couple spots on the body. They're old molds.
I think it's mainly on the Jim. The Pontiac is the one that has.
Well, the Monte Carlo has it too.
On the hood, I think
on the hood.
Yeah,
on the hood.
But where the Pontiac has it on the roof and the hood.
Yeah, it's a little bit of work.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's a simple deal. So sorry about that, but it is what it is.
We saved them, and I'm proud of that. These things.
I'd rather have the car and have something like that than not have it at all.
Yep. And we get to put Clay's decals on them, which is awesome.
Yep.
And it's this one's selling like crazy. And I'll be honest, anytime we make a number 3, it sells out every time.
Oh yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yep.
But so we got that one. That's going to be your kid of the month. And the add-on for that is going to be for the club members. Is going to be the Chase Elliott, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we got the coming soon, the JR, the Jim Rogers Motorsports Chevrolet.
Yep.
And,
no, that's Jim and Rick. That's Jim and Rick.
Well, originally it was Jim and Rick, but then we didn't want to get sued by JR Studios.
Which is a model, or JR Models, which is runway models. And
they're runway models. Jim owns that on the side. And then, so we put Salvino's JR Models to get away with it. It worked out, though, because the kids are all, my kids are Jim's kids. That's my little brother. And
something like that.
4 of us will keep this, they'll keep us, me and Jim's, little garage band legacy going forever.
Yep.
And that's our dream. And then of course we got Joey coming. Can't wait.
Yep.
And of course for my IndyCar buddies, which I absolutely love IndyCar. I love all racing.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing, Matt, growing up in my world, I was first introduced to IndyCar. Actually I take that back. I was introduced to Indy cars. I seen pictures of the Novi's, right?
Right.
Pop brought home. Then Pop went to Pop, my dad. He went to the Riverside race, January of '64, posted money, STP for the first time. He came back with all the photos of all the cars in the race, and he gave them to me. And that's where I fell in love with that 43 car, with that cool guy with the slick back hair standing in front of the car with the work boots on. I thought, oh, this dude, man. Then
Elvis.
And honestly, yeah, it was a pretty awesome day. But and then of course Jimmy Clark wins Indy in '65, and my dad's at the race with Granatelli, and my grandfather from my mom's side is Scottish. So I do have a little Scot in me. I'm 25% Scottish, mainly Italian, but got a little Scot in me. I'm an American mutt.
We're all Western European mutts.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, Indy was huge for us, and Jimmy Clark. Then we had the next year, so it was pretty cool. So we got our IndyCar. I see what you did here, Jim. You went to the thing.
Yep.
So Jim's got a little tip for you, Jim. Why don't you play that tip?
I shall play that, and
a little tip, and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Righty.
And this is more for just kind of a test on how we're gonna do this. Most of you guys are familiar with this. A lot of you guys have purchased these jigs, and they're helpful, but some of the others either they haven't figured out quite how to use it, or they don't know about it and find it might be helpful. So here you go. Video I have done so far and realized that I didn't hit the record button. So here we go, and I'm going to start back with some stuff. Just go back over what I can. So let's start back here with the underpiece that goes under the fuel cell. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Trim off just a little bit of the ends of these triangular points on, what is this one? This is part number 51. You're just going to trim off a little bit off of there. If you trim off too much, don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. But what it will do is it will help you glue these into there. I made it too tight in that intersection where those points fit in on both sides. But if you trim that off, it will allow you to build this section back here around your fuel cell nice and square. Once you get it nice and square, then your pegs will fit into these on the truss on the back of the firewall right where they're supposed to. So once you get these in there, wrong piece, but that doesn't matter. Once you get those in and you go to glue them into this, they will fit really nicely. Another little thing you need to do is right in this area on the front firewall, there's some draft that the factory added right in here on those parts. And they added some in here on your chassis frame. You're just going to trim out a little bit on here. Not a lot, but you know what? If you trim out a little bit too much, as long as you don't cut these things off, trim out some out here, and it will allow that to drop in there a little bit better. Another thing you're going to want to do is on the side pieces of your firewall roll cage around the driver. Give them a good scrape, because they too are a little bit on the tight side, and if you scrape them off, they'll drop into those slots right there. They'll fit in there right nice and neatly. Do it on the front, do it on the back, and it will make your life just a little bit easier. And you want to make sure everything fits in. I designed this a little bit too tight. Yeah, I've learned. Other stuff is a little bit looser. Some of the more recent stuff than this is a little looser, so they don't fit quite so tight. That's why the Indy kits go together a lot better. But anyway, trim those. There's a little flash there. Trim those off, and they glue in a lot better, and it gives you just a little bit more flex room when you're building it. So let's jump back over here to the jig. You don't have to have my jig. You can use others. You can make others. You can. It doesn't even have to be printed plastic or whatever. The most important parts are that these little round pucks here, these here, that those all sit at the same height, because, and you don't even have to build yours that it uses the under tray. All you're concerned about is those are the right height with each other, so that when you build your chassis and it sits in, all of those rest on that equal height. And what it'll do is it will make sure something's not dropping incorrectly here, but it will make sure that all of these ball joints are at the same height, and it will allow you to make sure your ride height. You'll have all four wheels on the ground, and it'll keep your needs to drop in there a little bit more. It'll keep all four wheels on the ground, so you don't have one off the shelf. They always look a little funky if you do that. So it'll make sure that the ride height is equal with all of your stuff. So once again, as you're building this, test fit stuff. If it fits, if it's better to be a little sloppy, you can make it a little sloppy, and things will fit in right. Once again, this kit was very tight. Everything was really tight together, and the factory did a really nice job. They were very, very correct and exacting to my CAD files, and my CAD files were too tight, so that's why the pieces are tight. But you can trim them up, and it'll make it work a little bit better. But if you are interested in one of the jigs, you can get them from me, jim@salvino.us, or if you're placing an order for a kit on the website, you can just add it on, because Marco has those there available now on our website. So they just make things a little bit. It just make things a little bit easier, a little bit more consistent. So, yeah, it's kind of a mechanical thing, but when you when you can introduce something that's mechanical in a way like this, it cuts down on mistakes. I even learned that as a sculptor of toy prototypes, is if you can break things down to circles and squares and boxes and spheres, and keep it simple to its basic measurement, proportions, etc., it will help ensure that what you're doing becomes correct. And by doing some of these things, making a jig, and you know what, you can even do that for other cars and other kits. It doesn't just have to be this. You can do it for your other stuff. Try it out. Try it out on some of your other cars and your other kits of making a block. Something to sit, something that's equal, that sits under multiple spots, and it'll help you line up. So there you go, guys. Let's go. Let me get this back to.
I was gonna click it, Jim.
Yeah.
Here we go. Watch, I'll get us.
There we go.
I'm gonna practice getting back to the show here. There we go. So, anyways,
that's what I needed.
That's a little tip.
One thing to have control on.
I never watched the tip, so I've never used one of those jigs because I refuse to, because I want I've had my method for so many years of using MPC chassis on. So it's always been a challenge to get all four wheels on the ground and building open wheel cars. So it's just something I already know how to do. But when Jim was saying, "Oh, that's a tight fit," well, Matt doesn't have that problem because he uses the ultra thin media that will burn through any piece of plastic. You can make up a 1/16 of an inch with that stuff, and I use tube glue a lot on that, which would make up the distance. So if you're using a good glue, that little bit that Jim's showing you to trim, you don't need to do that. I mean, you can if you want, but I never did. Matt, have you? I can't hear you, Matt, but
there we go. I should try turning mic on. I haven't done this for very long, as everybody can tell. Yeah, I do the same thing. I scrape it off. It's kind of like there's a parting line there from the mold making.
Oh, okay.
From the injection, and I scrape that off, and it just helps it fit better. And then with the glue that I use, that extra thin, I use the quick set, then it starts fusing and melting the plastic together, and it kind of gives you a little bit of goo there, and it stays it sticks together, but I like that glue because it stays flexible for a while and movable for a bit till I get everything all lined up perfect.
We're going to do, Matt, is I'm going to put a challenge on you and Clay. We're going to pull out all of our glues. I mean, I don't know how many I got. I'm going to guess 7, 8 glues I use.
Yeah.
And, for different things. And I'm going to show what I use them for. Need you to make a video, and I'm going to have Clay make a video. And I think it'll be fun. It'll show none of us are the same. I mean, we all have our little method, and everybody share that.
Everybody has their stuff that they prefer and they use and what they get used to. I'm actually really fairly kind of new with the extra thin. I used to not like that kind of glue, and I was all about the CA glues. And I've really gotten attached to my my more like liquidy glues like that that fuse.
Nice fun there.
I was a tube glue guy, and I still am. I'll have to admit, I'll still go to the tube glue first, and then I use the one Clay uses. We sell it on the website. I forget what it's called. It's with the big brush stuff, Matt. That one. And then you turn me on to the Tamiya. Now the Tamiya I use when I want to. I mean, I almost use the Tamiya for body work in a sense. If there's like a little shrink, or I want to fill in a little hole, I use the Tamiya to actually melt it and get everything level. Because it's pretty harsh. And,
I'll use that. I'll use that for body filler too. I will. I'll put it on, and I'll take a little strip of like evergreen, a little thin strip of evergreen plastic, and use it like a filler. To and it fuses on in there, and that's worked out really well for me instead of using body filler.
And then normally in the show, this would be the point probably where we would do the interview, and we'll have interviews with model builders. Famous NASCAR people. We're going to start putting that together. I just learned how to use this system yesterday. And so Marco's going to run me through. And I think we'll probably do like Clay first, just to get it down before I get like Dell Inman, Waddell Wilson, the Wood brothers, the Wood, the Wood sons, I should say.
They're cousins.
They're old. They're my age, but Eddie and Lynn. So we'll get Eddie and Lynn on. We'll get we'll have some cool stuff, and we'll break them up into segments. So they won't be more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then we'll use different topics throughout the interview throughout the year. It'll be a nice little format. So. We're into the roundup, and it's all about Daytona, boys. You know what I mean?
Daytona.
What do you think, Matt? What are you looking forward to?
My usual. I will be rooting for. I'll be rooting for Larson, but I am going to be watching this 40 car. I would love to see that happen. That would just be historic.
Yes.
I think it's historic him just making the race. In the circumstances with Castro Neves in there. I'm rooting for honestly, the Travelers car would be unbelievable for NASCAR. I always root for NASCAR. It's kind of since my boy Richard retired a zillion years ago. I kind of root for NASCAR. And if for NASCAR, the Travelers would be great. Chase Kyle would be great. I wouldn't count out that Busch beer car, because that would be good to elevate Trackhouse to the level they deserve. And Ross to the level he deserves. For building a team out of nothing like that quick. I don't think it's ever been done before.
Rick, a couple of the guys have posted the race is going to start an hour early.
Yes, correct.
I coming in at the end of the day. So,
the rain. So I don't know. I'm rooting for what we have, and I'm rooting for NASCAR. So the 40, the 9, the 5, and the 1 would probably be my 4 picks. can't root for the 22 because Chris does that, and I don't want to
He
go
does
along
enough
with
for all of
Chris.
us.
Yeah. But I do like the paint job on that 22.
Yeah.
I have to admit, it's a beautiful one. And Blaney wouldn't hurt. I mean, a Ford wouldn't be bad. Of course, be rooting against the Toyotas because we don't have one right yet. So, and of course, they'll probably win. But, it's gonna. I'm psyched, dude. It's like the clash was awesome, best clash ever. You know, since they moved to LA, it was great running, exciting show. But Daytona 500 is the Daytona 500, man. This is it. This used to be the season when we were involved, Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, you win this. Championship was so far off this race. It was 1,000 miles off this race. And this is it. I was lucky to get to a couple winner's circles with the King.
Oh, boy.
Probably some of the highlights of my life.
Yep.
So
what a great experience that must have been.
Looking forward to it. I've actually experienced it. And there ain't nothing like it. I mean, it's etched in your brain for the rest of your life to win that race.
I can imagine. I can't imagine.
I was just working for the sponsor's kid. You know what I mean? Yeah. And trust me, you don't forget. Everybody wins.
Right. Oh, yeah.
We all win. I mean, it's we. And
did you even have a STP uniform on when that happened?
I had the company STP uniform. Ours were, I hate to say, much nicer. Well, they weren't as billboardy, but we all wore the same jacket. I had my leather jacket.
Yeah,
I had my leather jacket on. I'll put a picture up.
Definitely do that.
I have a great picture of me, my dad, Richard, and the other guys that worked for my dad. You know, we did an STP shot, and of course, Pops was in. It was Dell, Richard, and Pops in all the main shots. You know, so I got a lot of great pictures from.
That would be a great picture to put on the box art if you were to.
I did on the 81 car. If you look on the side. Is it on there? It's the one that Pops. It's the one Richard used for when he went in the Hall of Fame. You have a main picture. The main picture was Richard, my dad, and Dell.
Oh man!
And those are my three heroes. As I just talked to Dell last week on the phone. We talk constantly, and he's 88 years old. It's still good. He went to Bowman Gray. He's going to Daytona. And, I told him it's my turn to keep track of you. But I always tell him about the story of first time, I heard about him.
Yeah.
But the first time I seen him live was 70 at Riverside, second race when Richard won in the Superbird. And I was sitting in that grandstand across from the pits, Matt.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I see this guy with sunglasses. He looked like Elvis Presley jumping over the wall. And I go, I tell him that, and he gets embarrassed. So when I interview him live, of course, I'm going to tell the story.
Oh, heck yeah.
I was looking for the kit and couldn't find which one it was, Rick.
It's the 81 Daytona winner, the Buick.
It's on the side. I don't have that kit. I never got that one.
Well, I have to send you. You know what? And I have something special for you. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's sitting right over there on my model table. And I got to send that to you, Matt. I promised it to you 3 years ago.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
I ain't saying. But anyways, yeah. What are you rooting for, Jim? I'm
a good race.
Well, it's always a good race. Okay. But anyways, what are you guys rooting for? Come on, push in there.
Yeah, I got a wet dog. I got a wet dog on my lap.
I know it takes a second. Willie Hatton. Hey, by the way, if you're in the club, post pictures like Willie did.
Now that's Wiley, like Coyote.
Oh, Wiley. I'm sorry, Wiley. Wiley, I'm dyslexic. I apologize. But Wiley, my buddy, I love you. Took a selfie of himself behind his table.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I go, man, everybody needs to do that because we talk every Tuesday night, and we don't know what each other looks like. So it'd be really cool, to see that. But yeah,
that was a neat
we
picture.
got SVG, we got Ross, I'm in there, Larson, we got Elliott, 43 in the 12. Yeah, Blaney and Eric Jones was strong. We didn't even mention Eric, man. Eric had a hell of a pretty much Junior took all the thunder. The wins. Larson in the 40. We got Byron. I don't know. Byron's car is squirrely. They need to fix that today. I think they have a final practice. They got one more practice to straighten out the cars. The 21 and the Ford. I'm with you on that one. I'll never go against the Wood brothers.
Yeah.
I love the Wood brothers.
My secret cheer right there is for always the 21 car.
They're quick, dude, too. They're good. SJR sign team should win. And that's a nice one, Michael. Yeah.
Larson and anybody but
it's
Joey.
The first time I've ever read the comments in my life. You know that?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of 43 Penske. I'm with you. I love Penske.
Yeah.
I Greg Daughtry, one of my good buddies over there, and worked with Penske pretty much my whole life. I got to watch Roger go from a sports car dude that barely cobbled together an IndyCar. I was there actually the first year, to the mega giant thing he became. And it was pretty neat to see that a man, and Rick Hendricks, another one, and Richard Childress. Richard Childress, from no hauler to a car that he drove and maybe had one helper, to Richard Childress now, and that's always been my fear of the franchises with these hedge funds getting involved.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen it, but NASCAR's talking after the lawsuit, maybe of eliminating the franchises, I wouldn't blame them one bit, because you know what? It brings in investor money instead of people like Rick Hendrick, people like Richard Childress, people like Roger Penske, We all think of Roger Penske as this, multi-billionaire guy. Nope, he was just a dude that was addicted to racing.
He is real
Spend
racer.
every last penny on it, man.
Yep. One that was mentioned in the comments, that's I don't know if it was just once, but one of the guys said, don't Wiley Hatton says, Gut says Bubba, don't cut him out. He does good on some of these. Yeah. I mean, he won his was that a 100 or a 125? I don't remember what that was, but he won his, and he's won Talladega. So, who knows? So,
yeah, he's got a good shot.
Race car driver. I've never, a lot of people, it's kind of wearing out. Yeah, he just kind of ran his mouth a little bit and got some people to dislike him, but he's a good race car driver. Yeah. I remember when he first came on and got in the Cup, I was really thinking he was going to do well.
Well, you like the guys that run the mouth. Darrell's your favorite.
Yeah.
Exactly. By the way, Lamar Jones, put a little check mark on there. That's a Chris Herbst fan. Joey. I like Joe. You know what? I'm just a fan of it. The older you get, Matt, when we were kids, we lived or died by our guy. I'm just a fan of the damn sport. I'm a fan of the Indy.
Yeah.
Daytona 500, the Indy 500, the season for both. Those are my things. I watch Formula One still religiously, and we got a team coming next year, so you never know. Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
JR Models may have a Formula One car.
That would be cool.
Get an American in there, because that would be American.
And guys, we would love to do a lot more stuff. We're small. It's just dollars and cents. We would love to do all of the suggestions everybody comes up with. It would be cool, but it's just going to take time. We've
gotten there.
we're getting there.
Hey, let's face it, we started with an Oldsmobile. Now we have all of NASCAR's next gen stuff. We have IndyCar stuff. We'll get there. Stuff gets pushed back a little bit, and let's face it.
Quite honestly, I would have never thought 7 years ago, that at this point that you guys would have this many different kinds of kits and cars that you offer, especially, having this new car. Who would have thought?
Yeah, well, I mean, this last couple of years of this economy has not helped.
No,
I know all you guys
through it.
Yeah, and we've made it through the other end of the tunnel, and hey, we're going to move forward now. But it did delay some things. Ford changing their body and Toyota changing their body didn't help. But that normally wouldn't even have mattered. But we'll have a funny car we're working on now. We got one last thing before we jump out, Jim. And we went we went over time even on here. We got the multimedia kits are still coming. In fact, Jim's done the final touches. Matt's doing it. These two guys right here are doing about 90% of it. And
pardon me as I roll back, and I'm going to go back and grab some things.
Some spun metal is being done right now. Bob at Model Car Garage has got the photo etch being finished up.
Yeah, this
and Matt's got all the resin and tires going. And I don't know, Matt. I think in probably 4 or 5 weeks we should see
I've actually all the stuff that took a lot of time and the hard work part of it is just about done. I'm claying everything up, getting ready to pour the molds for all the pieces and the parts. I spent some time on those parts, getting them sanded and smooth. So
there you go, Jim. Get that centered.
The resin's going to look great. Well,
hang on just a second. Nope, I'm here.
No,
we'll get this down. It's the first time.
This is a 3D printed version of it.
Let's see.
I'll find you, Jim, right here.
Wrong one.
That's Rick.
Well,
Who wants to look at that?
There you are. Just go there, Jim, and then center it in the screen.
Hang on. I'm going to hide both of you boys. There we go. So this is all the parts pieces put together and hiding inside there is that engine. And all of these are, I think there's about 150 parts, maybe more in this kit. And then I don't have anything of this one apart from itself, but there's the Lotus 64. The different colors are just different types of resins on there. So this is going to be another. So these are all metal kits. So let me add these guys back in.
Yeah, I had a little comment on that real quick, Jim. So these ones are the highly detailed multimedia ones, the first two.
They are very
now detailed. The next two we're going to do more like these are like Model Factory Hero, very expensive, have tons of parts. Then the next two we're going to do them like Studio 27, and we're hoping it to be the Eagle, the 73 Eagle, and the McLaren M16. And we're going to do those curbside like Studio 27, which makes them more affordable and easier to buy. And
easier to build.
A lot easier to build, yeah. But we'll see what you guys like, and maybe it is a mix. I don't know. Maybe we do both. We do some curbsides, we do some highly detailed like this, where the curbside means the body work doesn't come off. And these ones, the body work all comes off just like a regular model, and you got all the stuff in them. So they're going to be really cool. Excited about that for your old IndyCar guys, and which I think will drive some more people to us. And I think the funny car really will do a great job of that as well. Anyways, Jim, thank you for our first ever live, all of us together.
Yeah, this went longer than we had planned, but you know what? That's okay. It went to what a normal Saturday show does, and you wanted it to trim down a little less, but I think this worked good, and I hope we can keep doing these, and we'll have some Well, our friend in Japan that I don't know what his name is because it's all written in
You need to convert your name there, my
I have
friend in
built
Japan.
sample kit for Studio 27. So
I build their kits too. I love them. I absolutely love them. They
anyway,
in fact, I just bought the JS7, the Jacques Lafitte car, from '78.
Yep.
And I bought what another one. I just got.
Hey! You're not supposed to tell people we buy other companies' model kits.
Oh,
this is the sale of our stuff, not anybody else's stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean I love all models, man. If it's a race car, you got me. You know what I mean? As they said it, and you had me at hello, you had me at race car. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. Thanks, Jim, for putting this together. Thanks for helping that. It'll improve tremendously by next week. I'll even do my hair and makeup, and you already got the parts going.
Oh yeah, Matt's got some parts there.
Yeah, I got that's for the next one.
And there will be a windshield on those cars. They'll be vacuum formed like Studio 27 and Model Factory Hero. So if you built those kits, the first two are going to be like the Model Factory Hero kits. The next two we're going to do like Studio 27. There you go. There's the puck.
Yeah, my light's bright. It's flushing out. Yeah. That's for the
Lotus 64.
So that's the buck for that will vacuum form on there. That I clean it all up, make it real smooth, so the glass will be, the vacuum form glass is going to be nice and smooth.
And then, so anyways, guys, thank you so much, man. What an exciting day. I think one question for everybody out there. How the hell do you watch the Xfinity race? I can't find it on my TV.
It's the Xfinity should be on your local CW. For you, that's Channel 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that channel CW.
I know where to find it. Okay.
CW has the Xfinity series all year, so it's going to be on for you in LA, Channel 5 all year long.
So qualifying and the race will be on Channel 5. Okay, for me.
Yep.
I was just a little worried. Was getting nervous there, guys. Sorry.
But I watch it delayed on YouTube.
Okay. And then I seen that Castro Neves in the ARCA race will be on in the evening on Fox Sports. And then we got one more practice. And then tomorrow, man, all hell will break. Literally all hell will break loose.
Wasn't that supposed to be today?
But anyways, thanks, Jim. Thanks for putting this together. Thanks, Matt, for everything. And thanks all of you guys out there that bother even to look at this little garage band company.
Yep.
We're still a garage band. Remember that. We are going as quick as we can. I know we've said we're going in a direction, and the direction gets changed, but we'll get back to it. If we said it, we want to make it.
Yeah.
And we'll get there. A little better economy this year and next year, and we could really make some great ground with Marco in here now. We had two knuckleheads, me and Jim, just winging it, going for it, right? So we
drug in that other knucklehead on the end there.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I was like, oh boy, these guys.
Oh, I mean,
you guys seemed crazy enough to me for me to believe in you when I first got that first message from Jim, and I said, these guys are absolutely nuts. This could very much fall completely apart, but how awesome that they're taking it on. Very brave. I admired the heck out of that, and look what happened.
Mad Dogs and Englishmen.
Never would have thought.
Well, we had all the ins in racing through my family. Jim and me worked together since the 80s. Okay. And so we knew Jim's talent. We didn't know how to make a mold, but we had a guy that could sculpt you, and we had my connections in racing. And of course, Matt, I've been a model builder since they built the first one. And
and that right there, because you guys have been friends for so long and worked together for so long, And this is something that I noticed early on when I got to know you, but it was the passion that you both have. That's where I completely had 100% faith that this was going to take off the way it did.
We didn't have the money, but we had the passion.
You didn't have the money. You didn't have the money, nor did you have the brains, but you had the passion.
Hey,
that's it.
But Roger Penske did the same damn thing.
Exactly.
Richard Childress did the same damn thing.
Just stepped off the cliff
Hendrick
and
did
whatever happened.
The Pettys did it. The Wood brothers.
That's why they got to where they got. You got to do that. You got to.
Yep.
So we're looking forward. I think by summer, get gas prices down, get the economy rolling again.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping. I think we all are.
Bring down the price of styrene.
Well, what it does, gas brings everything down. Brings cardboard down, brings, everything. It brings that straw in your mouth down,
Yep.
That's right.
Gas, energy brings everything down and makes stuff a little more affordable for us guys. And, our electric bills, our heating bills, our whatever. We don't use my cheat here, but Matt don't use my cheat there. But we use a lot of air conditioning, right, Matt?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to either hang up on you guys this long goodbye.
All right.
We're now at an hour and a half.
Daytona 500.
Daytona 500, kids. So, all right, boys. Talk to you later. Let me see. I want to go to.
I don't know how to get out, Jim. It's first time.
How do you get out?
Leave. I got it.
The little leave.
Yeah.
Leave, Rick. Leave.
Bye.
Bye, Matt. Okay. You're still here. Leave, Rick. Leave.
I'm trying, man. It ain't clicking. Sorry.
Let's see. What am I looking for? There we go.
Make me leave, Jim. I can't.
Well, just be quiet for a minute.